have been waiting all this time for Epic Universe to open. And just like that, I've been wanting to be here for a minute now. And we finally made our way to Epic Universe. We're about to make our way through the Chronos. Guys, I'm excited. We are excited to make our way in and answer some big questions about Epic Universe. First and foremost, will it live up to the hype? Secondly, with the hype being so high, is it reasonable to expect to get enough done here at Epic Universe so early in its life's run? And last but not least, a little honorable mention, is it worth it? Obviously, that's going to be very subjective to the individual, but we'll try to make our way through, enjoy the park with you guys, and be as objective as possible at the end on whether or not this was worth it. Let's make our way into the park and have some fun. And we are in. Let's take a second to soak it all up. The park entrance does look beautiful, and you got your little photo op as you cross the Chronos everybody's lining up for. But let's see if we get some stuff done. All right, so the early reviews for crowd levels and overall wait times have been overwhelmingly positive. But with my luck, we will probably have the busiest day to date since the grand opening here at Epic Universe. So we need to start off with a plan. And I recommend everybody start off with a plan. We stepped inside the store really quick to cool down, but early park admission is obviously the first thing that you should do. If you're a resort guest, you'll get an hour early before general public to enjoy the park. So we gotta decide where we're gonna head, and we're killing time right now. We have 15 minutes into early park admission already, so we got about 45 minutes left. Number two, we're gonna make sure that we prioritize the rides and shows that we absolutely want. We made some notes here, and I suggest you guys do the same if you're preparing to come to the park and you wanna make the most of your visit. So a couple of rides that we wanna do is Monsters, obviously, that's our favorite, Stardust, Ministry, and for shows, the Untrainable Dragon. Now, if we could add some things in between, we will, but we'll see. And then there is the order in which we want to do things. So I'm thinking that we want to go first and enjoy Celestial Park or Super Nintendo World, because that's part of the early park admission, not the whole entire park is. And then we'll make our way over to Dark Universe, Harry Potter, Isle of Berk, and then circle back around to Dark Universe for the end of the night so that we could enjoy Dark Universe at night. We didn't get an opportunity to do that when we came originally for the previews, and we didn't get to film. We only were here up till 5 o'clock. And then lastly, limit the stops for food. The less we stop for food, the better. We hopefully will be able to save ourselves some time, but we obviously have to stay hydrated and eat occasionally, but we'll see how quickly we could get those things done. All right, we got a plan in place. Let's try to make the most of our visit here at Epic Universe. We'll start our day with Super Nintendo. So we already have done the Super Mario Kart racing game. We haven't done the minecart racing for Donkey Kong, and we haven't experienced Donkey Kong Land at all. So let's get that out of the way. And then I think after that, Stardust Racers will be the next thing that we try to do. We're gonna try to stick to this plan, but obviously audibles will occur. And in the process, we'll try to do our best to enjoy the land as well. You know, it's not all about being first and getting everything done. It's about soaking in the moment. And this is an amazing moment as we make our way into Super Nintendo World. I believe Donkey Kong is to the right, but take this in, guys. This is sensory overload inside of Super Mario, or Super Nintendo World. We don't have a wristband, but I think that's the noise it makes when you don't have a wristband. Here we go, Donkey Kong Country. Our first time making it in. I have a feeling this is going to be another moment of sensory overload. Wow. So vibrant. So cool. You got the cool water elements. It looks like a Mayan temple almost. There's a lot more shade back here than expected too. It's beautiful. But of course, we have a brief delay for Minecart Madness, and I've heard some rough things about Minecart Madness as far as being up and running. It's had a lot of downtime since the opening of Epic Universe and also during the previews. We are here all day, so it's not a huge thing that we already are starting off with an audible and our plans are already getting disrupted. I had a feeling that was going to be the case, at least for a few rides. I hear Stardust is kind of dependable, so let's make our way over to Stardust, get that out of the way. That's a roller coaster that I'm really hyped to try out, especially since there's been huge comparisons to Velocicoaster, so I'm looking forward to making that comparison myself. I highly doubt it's better than Velocicoaster, but I guess we'll see. All right, so audible to the audible. Yoshi's is a 10-minute wait, so why not get a little ACQ line and check out a new ride? We haven't done Yoshi's. Warning, this ride is intense. Just kidding. This queue line is adorable. I'm sad I didn't get to bring my son, but we will be back. We were anticipating super crazy lines, which is the reason why we opted not to bring him for the opening weekend. And Monique wasn't a fan of the crazy lines either, so if it turns out to be a crazy day, we made the right choice. If it turns out to be a super nice day, well, maybe we missed out on an opportunity for a super smooth visit to Epic Universe with the family. I guess we'll find out. Thank you, sir. Got it. All right, so this is an interactive ride. You got to look for the eggs. A nice slow mover. Great way to start off the morning nice and paced. All right, so we found our first egg, the green egg. We've got some mischievous Yoshis. We already got all our eggs. Oh, and we got Toad up front.
Thanks to you, we found the golden egg.
All right, so we obviously don't have much time to lose. Actually, we might have a good amount of time, but as far as EPA goes, we have just 20 minutes to go, and it looks like the delayed logo has gone away from Minecart Madness, so let's go see if it's back up and running. Oh yeah, and little honorable mention, make sure to download the app if you're trying to make the most of your visit. All right, Donkey Kong's gonna be a no-go for now, but we'll try to get everything done and come back later. No time to waste. All right, now I know I said no time to waste, but we haven't had breakfast. We have about 12 minutes left of early park admission, so we're probably gonna end up wasting it, but Stardust Racers is gonna be our next thing. But we ended up getting ourselves the red shell calzone, which has like a meatball in it. There's green shell calzone, which is vegan. And then we got ourselves the smoothie because dude, it is a hot day here and we need to cool down. We'll keep making our way. We're here up till 10 o'clock at night, so we'll be fine. We'll get to do as much as we can as long as it's open. But that's gonna be the key. Is it gonna be open? And is this good? Good enough. All right, we're about to start making our way out of Super Nintendo, but we've kind of wasted all of early park admission here with all their rides being delayed except for Yoshi, but that's okay. We're gonna make it all up because it looks like Stardust Racers is only a 10-minute wait. And we got ourselves some delicious food. This was delicious and refreshing, and this was actually surprisingly good. A little bit small, but the filling is delicious. And as we're making our way over to Stardust, I kind of just wanted to take a quick pause to check out the little water shows going on throughout the park. Obviously Constellation Carousel, and you can see the lights. So in the nighttime, this park is a light spectacle. They have a amazing light package as Stardust makes its way back into station. but you can see already some of it here during the daytime. Now it still does say a 10-minute wait for Stardust Racers, so awesome. Very short. We went to the left-hand side. I'm not sure which color track we're on, but I've heard a lot of people say that this ride is better than Velocicoaster, and Velocicoaster is my #1 coaster, so we're about to figure that out. Which one's better? All right, so we do have to put you guys away before we figure out if they're gonna put some respect on Velocicoaster's name. Back. Confirm, I guess. Woo, terrible image. Oh. All right, guys. I will see you in a little bit. All right. Let's get our hat back on. All right, first and foremost, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, I am a sweaty mess. This isn't sweat, this is water that I just put out in the bathroom. But now that we have done the ride, we rode it twice. We rode the green train, second row, which seems to be much more popular, and then we rode the red train, very back row. Comparison between the two, I can say the green train is the much better experience. It's a lot faster, and if you sit on the left-hand side, you get to interact with the other train as you have those elements interacting with each other. It's a super cool ride. But is it better than Velocicoaster? I could tell you without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely not. This ride is a little bit tame. The launches are spectacular because they're kind of like these double launches. They like shoot you out, and then right before you exit the launch, you get another kick. But it's not super thrilling all the way through. The interactive elements, if you were to remove those interactive elements with the other trains, I think it would really nullify the experience of this coaster. So for that alone, I could say Velocicoaster is a much more thrilling ride and a much better ride in general. That being said, we got our ride. It seems like the day's going smooth because we were able to ride twice with a 10-minute wait each time. So hopefully the waits are consistent outside of delays like we had over at Super Nintendo World. Now we're gonna make our way over to Dark Universe. No more time to wait. Let's make our way. Are you open already, man? Can I do... Ooh, there's a mudslide frozen.
Yes, sir, there is. Fantastic. Super strong as well.
Let's do that.
Mudslide?
And can I also have a water, please?
Mudslide here for you, Travis.
Thank you, sir. All right, listen, guys. I know that I said that we didn't have time to waste, but it's a hot day, and we were gonna avoid getting drinks and food, but we need something to cool us down. So, of course, just outside of Dark Universe, we had to stop at the Cella's Tiki Bar. This is a cool little spot to cool down, grab yourselves a great drink. We got ourselves the mudslide, which is a frozen drink that's delicious, and some water so we could rehydrate before we continue making our way. And here we are still at the Cella's Tiki Bar. We're about to make our next move, finishing up our drinks. And guys, I know we're trying to make the most of today, but regardless, we got to make sure that we don't overdo it. Have a good day, don't get like dehydrated, so we stop, but let's take a look. Ooh, a 15-minute wait for Monsters and a 10-minute wait for Curse of the Werewolf. That's amazing. If this continues, we're about to have a spectacular day at Epic Universe. So we've made it into Dark Universe, and we're going to be crossing on over into Darkmoor in just a moment. We do need to do a quick restroom break, but before that, let's do a quick recap of our goals. How far along are we, and do we feel like we're on track? So we aim to answer a couple questions. First and foremost was, does it live up to the hype? Now, it's too early along, but I gotta say, it's been good so far. And also, our next question was, how much can you realistically get done when the hype is so fresh? And crazy enough, it seems like you can get a lot done. We'll be able to answer this a little bit better later on in the video, but if the wait times for Dark Universe are correct, we're about to answer that pretty quickly. 15 minutes and 10 minutes for the Curse of the Dark, or the Curse of the Werewolf. And last but not least, is it worth it? If you're a theme park enthusiast like myself, I think we can answer that right now. It's absolutely worth it. And with the way that the crowds are turning out to be, I think it's going to be more worth it than we expected. All right, restroom break is over. We got cooled down a little bit as well. And it looks like it's still a 10-minute wait for monsters. Let's make our way in. Der Victoria Frankenstein's beautiful mansion. Here we come. 10-minute wait. That's crazy. Whew. And some AC. Guys, this queue is amazing. And now that I could do it without much of a wait, even better. We honestly could marathon this ride all day, but for the sake of getting some more rides done and getting on the Curse of the Werewolf, we're gonna take a hiatus because we just did Monsters. I think within 20 minutes we did it 3 times. So exciting. I'm super happy that I was able to do that. It's blowing my mind how short the lines are and how small the crowds are today. But this ride, without spoiling it too much, is probably one of the best, and in my opinion, the best ride that Epic Universe has to offer. Obviously not too family friendly, so not everybody's gonna be able to ride it if you have kids. But for those horror enthusiasts, those Halloween Horror Nights fans, they got something for you, and it does not miss the mark. Let's make our way over. We're gonna try to ride Curse of the Werewolf. Gotta check the app again to see what the wait is now. Curse of the Werewolf is currently going, and we pull up the app. Monsters doesn't have a wait on it currently, and neither does Curse of the Werewolf. What is going on? Oh, there we go. 25 minutes for Curse of the Werewolf, so it has gone up a bit, and Monsters is still at 10. All right, well, I guess we're going to be waiting a little bit for Curse of the Werewolf, but let's make our way to the line. Phew, it's hot, so we're doing single rider, so hopefully that will save us a little bit of time on that 25-minute wait. Curse of the Werewolf is one that comes with a mixed bag of reviews. We're going to see. We're going to get our own opinion by riding the Curse of the Werewolf. And I can already say, the queue, although it does smell like somebody threw up, is pretty awesome. Thank you. And to continue in the immersion of Darkmoor, we make our way on over to Das Steakhouse. The vampires here are supposed to be very devious, so you gotta be careful what you say. They warn you as you enter. That being said, we did ride the Curse of the Big Bad Wolf, and I kind of get why it gets a bad rep. That being said, it's not a terrible ride. It's just simple and a little short. That's really all you can say about it. But terrible? Not really. Now, let's check out the menu here and grab ourselves some lunch. And here is the menu. If you want to keep it simple, they do have the Das Burger, which seems like their style of a cheeseburger, a little bit of a twist to it with some red chutney. The one that's calling out to me right now is the Darkmoor Black Wings. If you're looking to get fancy, they also do have a New York strip. Fish and steak, bird on a steak, bites, pieces. They have a nice variety. I think we're gonna get the chicken wings. So we ended up getting the pork belly, and it's actually very cool because we got the little table marker. Ooh, it's going red in here. And you just sit down, order your food, all mobile, and it gets sent to you. Thank you. And the pork belly has arrived, and it was kind of like food with a show because they pour the sauce over the pork belly for you, which is like a sweet and sour sauce, I believe. We got the roasted veggies and mashed potatoes. Looks delicious. All right, you guys are a little bit at an angle here, but we're opening up our appropriately rolled red silverware. We got some napkins. We are waiting for our drink. That does come separately, but very appropriate. Let's see. Let's grab a piece of this pork belly. Dip it in the sauce. Very good. The pork belly does seem to be a little bit dry, but I think that might just be the piece that I got. Mashed potatoes. Ooh, the mashed potatoes are delicious. Okay, well, you guys get it. The food's good. Let's get back to it. We're going to finish this up. Next, we're going to be heading to the Ministry of Magic. This is very cool. Very eerie at the same time. Which, by the way, the food was great, as you can see. All right, we just finished our lunch. Dust Fest House was good. I probably wouldn't get the pork belly again, just because it was expensive and not the best pork belly I've ever had as the Curse of the Werewolf comes around. And we are joined by our boy, Senor Lush TV. And I completely forgot the burning blades. Burning blades? Blades. Burning blade. One blade? Not plural, guys, okay? Get that right. We were gonna go check out Ministry, but right now it's at 110-minute wait, so let's burn some time. Literally. All right, so we stopped to get ourselves a drink. We ended up getting the Reaper's Reserve. It was explained to us as basically Halloween Horror Nights in a glass, so I'm looking forward to trying that out. All right, so while we're waiting, let's check back on Super Nintendo and see if my cart has gone back up. Gotta pull up the app and navigate our way through, and here we are. All right. Is that my cart? No, that's Yoshi's. There it is. A 40-minute wait. Not terrible. We might make our way over there since Ministry is currently at a 110-minute wait. This might be the move, and we could always do the single rider line. All right, so the wait time now for Ministry has gone down, so I think we're back on track. Let's make our way over there and see if we could get in line. We might try the single rider line to see if it's a 90-minute wait for the regular line, which is tolerable. Hopefully the single rider line is much more short, about like 30 minutes is what I would expect. And as we're making our way out, we got Igor and the Invisible Man. Okay, we've made it to the British Ministry, and I gotta say, we need a little bit of light here. This is impressive for the size, the scale of the buildings as you enter. Like, this is huge. All right. So, still on our list of things to do, our plan is to get the British Ministry of Magic out of the way and then a show. Originally, the show that we wanted to do was the Untrainable Dragon, and I think that's still the show that we're going to do. But Le Circus Arcanus? Arcanus. Might be something that we want to add in as well while we're in here. And here's the show tent. I gotta say, I like the style of the show tent. Like, it all looks real. And I think that's the point, obviously. Eddie. Wow. Taking this all in. I know in here there's also like a bar that people have been going to and frequenting a lot. We might try a drink while we're in here. Maybe even the butterbeer crepes. All right, in we go to the Metro Flu. We're doing single riders. We're gonna try to cut that 90-minute in half, if possible. Wish us luck. Whoa, that was pretty cool. All right, let's see. Wow. Whoa. Oh my gosh. What a queue. That is beautiful. Why do the tiles look like candy? I've thought that since I've seen like the previews. Like, I feel like you can walk up to these tiles and lick them. Here we go. Jeez, this is sensory overload 100%. Wow. The details in this place are spectacular. Now, we are doing single rider line, so we're probably going to miss out some of the cool details of the regular line, but there is no way I'm waiting 90 minutes right now. Maybe later on tonight, I'll come back and if the line isn't too long, jump into single rider. Or, sorry, the regular queue. Just want to touch them. Doop. All right, we are almost there, I think. We've been in line for almost 30 minutes. Only 70 minutes. No, wait. Yep, it's been 70 minutes that we've been waiting. And this line was supposed to be 90 minutes, but I know it wasn't. We're almost there, though. And we're done with the ride, and they have some of the characters moving around. This gentleman looks like a wizard detective. And we're off the ride. That's got to be the longest wait. We waited about 80 minutes when it was a 90-minute wait for the regular line. I think the regular line actually moved quicker. So for the British Ministry of Magic, the ride, you're probably better off just going with the regular queue than the single rider line. But I've heard that that's a hit or miss. Sometimes the single rider line is a good option for you, but it was terrible for us. Ride, though, was a pretty cool ride. I've heard a lot of people compare it to Universal Classic Monsters, the Monsters Unchained. And I gotta say, it's not on that level. It's definitely a really cool ride. They have some impressive animatronics, but there's portions of it that I don't want to ruin it for you. But the first portion of it, for a second there, I was getting upset that was the ride, and then it switches over to other scenes. But it comes back to that type of scene where you're in an elevator, which doesn't really do much for the aesthetic of the ride and just the experience overall. But when it switches over to some of the bigger scenes, that's when it gets impressive. We've almost done everything that we need to do or wanted to do in our plan today. The only thing we have left now is getting a show in. And we still got another 5 hours left in the park. So far, so good here at Epic Universe. And we continue to hydrate before our next show. The Untrainable Dragon, we may have to watch a little bit later, but it looks like the show here at the British Ministry of Magic will be starting at 5. All right, so the Harry Potter show is what we shall watch. We'll probably still do Untrainable Dragon, but later tonight. And we take a quick seat while we wait for the show to start. But I love the aesthetic of the queue line here. It makes it look like you are inside of a circus tent all the way through. Very cool. And just like that, we finished a show. So we've basically done everything that we planned to do. So I pulled out my phone to see if we've answered all the questions, or how do we feel about these questions now? Does it live up to the hype? Epic Universe absolutely lives up to the hype. I'm currently looking out onto the Ministry of Magic area, and we got some of the characters interacting. We have that amazing tent show. It looked amazing inside of that tent, as if you were in a tent the whole entire time. Monsters is spectacular. Stardust Racers is on a whole nother level for coasters. Not better than Velocicoaster though. And overall, the park is amazing. Our next question was, is it realistic to get everything done with something so freshly hyped? And I think we lucked out. I don't know that this is going to be the case for the long run. I think right now, for whatever reason, Universal undersold tickets, or people anticipated that the lines and the crowds were going to be so high that they've actually avoided coming to Epic Universe, but it's done quite the opposite. It's now easy to go through. We got to ride Monsters like 4 times, Stardust Racers like 2 times, and the day's not even over. We still have 5 hours left in the park. I don't know what to tell you. It couldn't have been better. Honestly, the only ride that was long was the British Ministry of Magic, and that was about like 90 minutes, 85 minutes, give or take. I wouldn't wait that long again for that ride, but it was a good ride. And last but not least, is it worth it? If you're a theme park fan, I think absolutely this park is worth it. Make your way on over. If you're coming to Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, this is a park that you should add on. And during Halloween Horror Nights, this is definitely going to be something that I'm looking to do during a random day. Guys, I hope you enjoyed coming along. I hope you enjoyed checking out everything here at Epic Universe for the first time here with us. We did check it out back in March, but it was a partial experience. This was the full experience, and we still have 5 hours left. I'm going to end the video here, make my way on over to Dark Universe, go check out Darkmoor during the nighttime, check out the Fountain Show, and a couple other things in the nighttime. But up till our next video, I will see you guys on the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed coming along. Don't forget to ask yourself, have you been entertained?